My name is Thorsten Stephan from ASPHERICON here in Jena, Germany. Somebody might already know us for producing high quality aspheric or spheric optical components. And I'd like to welcome you to my little talk about IR and UV solutions, which are quite new within our product portfolio. And we have some news to announce. So I'd like to start. As everybody might already know, in the UV section, aspheric components are mostly used for semiconductor and display manufacturing, as well as laser material processing, medical lasers, and also for different R&D tasks. And the IR spheres are used for spectrometers and LiDAR solutions, as well as space projects like Sentinel-4 or 5, which is, or Sentinel-4 is used for climate change observation, and different kind of IR camera systems like night vision systems, thermal camera, and surveillance, also as well as smoke detectors. And this is what we are offering in general, our standard product portfolio, which is split in three different areas. First is the stock optics area. This is what I'm talking about right now. And then we offer, of course, any kind of custom solution. So I would say everything that's possible, we try to realize. And higher integrated systems, which means aspheric or acylindric components, which are integrated into a housing. Or our beam tuning product series with different kinds of elements, where it's all about shaping an incoming laser beam into an other shape which comes out, which means transforming a laser beam from a Gaussian profile to a flat top profile, and different other options. So at first we speak about the UV optics, which is not new at all, but what is new is a new sophisticated design, which means we have changed the design wavelength to triple neodymium YAG wavelength, which is 355 nanometers. Before we had a design wavelength of 285 nanometers, and in the new world, both are existing in parallel. And we are offering now 3 different quality levels for our standard aspherical components, which means made of a few silica, and I will say a few words about it later. And overall, this is ending up in the highest or in the largest choice of different aspherical standard components on the market. Some of them with the lowest roughness values that are available. And what's also new, our new V coatings, which means specialized coatings for a special wavelength, which then might be fit best to the customer's application. And let's start with our first quality level, which is the value champ, which means these are the cheapest available aspherical standard components with a surface form deviation of 0.5 micrometers, which ends up in a wavefront RMS of 235 nanometers. We have 16 different kinds, starting from 12.5 millimeters in diameter to 25 and 50, and the wavelength. The focus length is from 10 to 100 millimeters. And then we come to what we call the ultra quality, with a surface form deviation of below something below 0.3 micrometers, which ends up in a wavefront RMS of below 140 nanometers. And this is, if you have a look into other catalogs from optical manufacturers, this is above 2/3 above the industry standard. The selection size is the same, and every one of the different lenses is available with any kind of coating, which ends up in the largest selection that is available on the market at the moment. And last but not least is the new quality level that we are offering, which we call the industry benchmark, because we have very high-end surface finishing there with a surface form deviation below 20 microns, which is resulting in a wavefront error below 10 microns. only 3 different options available there, every one of them with 25 millimeters in diameter, and with the EFL of 50, 75, and 100 millimeter. And there we offer this surface roughness, which is below 0.5 millimeters, and this very low surface foam deviation ends up as it's much better than only diffraction limited, and we speak about a Strahl ratio of 0.95 there. And beam tuning quality means this also can be combined with our other beam tuning elements, which have comparable surface values there, and therefore it can be an add-up to any kind of lab application that might be useful for customers. So, and yes, these standardized sizes of lenses are always available as mounted option too. So a few more words about the beam tuning quality. You see here a picture of a white light interferometric measurement of a surface of an aspheric lens, and you have to believe me now that here we speak about surface roughness values below 0.5 nanometers here. Yes, diffraction limited design. I already mentioned the Strahl ratio for above 0.8, and yes, these can be used for any kind of application where low scattering is needed, any kind of high power laser application, or also for ultra short pulses there. What's new regarding the coatings? In the past, we were offering standard coatings like these here above, and now we offer these so-called V coatings for 355 nanometers, 532, and 1064 nanometers, everything off the shelf, and for any kind of aspheric component that was mentioned above. For the new V coatings, we can reach a lower reflectivity than for the broadband coatings. Here we speak about reflectivity of, let's say, our max is around about 1%, and for the V coatings, 0.25% is reachable. Okay, and last but not least, something about the IR optics. The example that you can see here is a germanium cubus with the 3 aspheric and 1 freeform surfaces, which was created out of the so-called collaboration project FO+. And we have the capacity to process materials like IR classes, silicium, chalcogenides, zinc sulfide, germanium, and calcium fluoride as well, from small sizes like 1 millimeter to 420 millimeters, and with a precision, with the same surface roughness precision than for the other aspheric components, and with an RMSI value down to or below 15 nanometers. And yes, we can offer IR components for harsh industrial environments like temperature differences, humidity, and contamination as well. And the coatings that we are offering at the moment can reach up to wavelengths to 5.1 micrometer. We can offer other solutions for higher wavelengths as well, but then we have to speak about collaboration partners, external. Mostly it's done with our standard technology, which means electron beam evaporation, but we also offer sputtering technology for ultra hard and ultra resistant coatings, which can be used for any kind of anti-reflection, high reflection, or filter application. And we also can offer environmental tests for practically every known standard like DIN, ISO, or MIL. And we can also offer fast lane services for coating applications as well. Okay, I think I'm in time. And thank you, everybody in the audience, for your attention. And I would also be happy to receive some questions, maybe now within the chat or later at our virtual booth. And yes, enjoy the day and the digital trade fair. And bye-bye from my side.